Let's talk about the Home tab tasks. Pretty much all of the Office products have these ribbons, and they have a Home tab. This is Microsoft Word, this is Excel, this is PowerPoint. Notice it says the name of the program, and in case I have a file open, it says the name of the file. Let's work on Microsoft Word, and let's select the resume I had before. We can select a word by double clicking on it, and if you notice, this little mini toolbar pops up, which let me edit the text on just this particular word I have highlighted. Let's say I want to change the font color to red. If I want to select the entire line, I double click on the margin, which is outside here. Oops, a little bit more, there you go. We have selected the entire line. If I want to select the entire sentence, I do the same way. With the difference, I keep the Control key pressed. The sentence will end when the period is found. I can select the entire paragraph by triple clicking in the paragraph, or I can just select sections. For instance, I click there, and that's called an insertion point. I hold my left key of the mouse and then scroll to the left, and then I highlight the characters I need. I will do it in a similar manner to do to the right, and I can just simply select that two letters, let's say underline. Or if I want to select the entire document, I press Ctrl A. It selects all the text for me. That mini toolbar can be turned on and off, and by doing that I can go to the options. Of course, I go to the File tab, then Options. I have told you before how you can change the color scheme. And here's a little checkbox that says you can turn that toolbar on or off. There's also, in the proofing section, the autocorrect, which if the computer finds a word misspelled, it will change it for you automatically. There's this checkbox that says check spelling as you type, which is pretty handy. If I type something wrong, it'll underline it red. Now let's say I want to change font of this particular word employment. Let's go to the Home tab, and here are some options. I have my font family, the size, I can make it bigger or smaller, I can make this bold, italics, or underline, or crossed out. I can change for math function, I can make subscript or superscript. I can make this glow, there's some effects. I can change it back. For instance, I can make this back and then make the font color, let's say yellow. I need to highlight the word and make it yellow. There you go. Well, there's some cases I need more formatting. So I can click on the font dialog box. If I click on this little corner of the button inside the ribbon, or press Ctrl D, that gives me more options. I can make some text effects and make it transparent like a watermark. can change the spacing between the letters, between the lines of the sentences and paragraphs. Let's go now to Microsoft Excel, and I'm going to explain some of the clipboard. Let's start a new document. Like any Office document, I can press Ctrl N to start a new one. Now you notice I have columns name with letters and the rows with numbers. So let's say I want to make my own calendar. To highlight them all and edit the font of all of them, I hold my left key down of my mouse and drag the mouse to the desired cells, and I release, and I want to center all of them. I want to make the background black. I want to make the font white. There you go. Now let's say I want to copy the cell A1 to, let's say, D3, which is here. So I can press copy or Control C, and I can go to D3 and press paste or Control V. However, let's say I have other cells, let's say lab days will be Mondays and Wednesdays. I can reverse this by clicking white on the cell and black on the text. But I want to copy the style, the black background, to here. Let's put lab here, lab, and I want to make this black. I thought I did change it, but there you go. So how do I copy this format without overwriting the contents? If I just press Ctrl C and Ctrl V here, it replaces it, the text. To undo the change, I can click on this arrow, it says Ctrl Z, or undo, or redo will be Ctrl Y, or this forward arrow. But I have the Ctrl C as copy in this current cell A1, and to copy just the format, instead of clicking paste, I click on the arrow down here on the paste, and I click on paste specials, and I click on formats only. You notice it centered them, make the background black and the font white without replacing the text. Now there are some shortcuts. Control C is copy, Control V is paste, Control X it cut and paste, not copy and paste. If I press Control X and I click Control V here, that cell is moved to the destination. Now if I want to see what's in my clipboard, that's a place in memory where all the objects I want to copy and paste are held, I can click on this clipboard arrow, and right now I have a Tuesday and Wednesday, and I can have up to 24 objects here. Now let's go back to Microsoft Word for a minute and let's say I want to find certain letters. Let's say I want to find the word clubs. How do I do that? Well, we can use find, which is the right here at the top right corner, or I can press Ctrl F, and it tells me here I want to change the word I'm looking for is, it said clubs. Now I highlighted the clubs that appears. And it tells me a little bit of the paragraph or lines where they were found. Now let's close this. Let's say I want to change the word jobs to employment. For instance, this word job and this word job, it could be a very large document and I don't want to go and change each word, so I can click on replace or Control H, and then I replace the word job. You notice I had the word highlighted. Automatically it thinks that's where I want to replace, and I will say employment experience. If I click replace, it will do word by word in case I don't want to change them all. Or I can click on replace all of them, and because I was at the end, it asked me if I want to do the entire document. I hit yes, and it replaced two. That message was because it searched from that point on, which there was no word jobs down here, so I wrapped all the way to the beginning of the document where I found it. This is very handy when you want to just replace the whole text without going through word by word. For instance, I want to reuse my syllabus from last semester and I just want to change the course number. That's an easy way to do it, so I don't have to type it over again. Microsoft has a feature called themes or styles that, for instance, in here, if I highlight this section, I can just select the style I want to predefine for me. For instance, I want to make this blue with intense emphasis. There you go. You change it for me. If I just hover my mouse, it gives me a little preview without changing it. If I don't like it, I just move my mouse out, it goes back the way it was. But if I click on the style, it is changed. If you notice, it was underlined and it's highlighted here. And I can change my underline to maybe double lines, or whatever might be the case you need to do. So why don't we try hands-on exercise on page 42, and then we'll move on to the insert tabs, and that will be the last video of this section, and then you should be ready to take this class.